Hey, what's up, everybody? This is yours truly. That's Robert Ferguson, aka Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. And I am excited and delighted to share with you today information that I believe can help you now. Not 8 months from now, not 5 years from now, but now. And I also want to bring clarity to how we're able to help people eat foods that they love, enjoy, like, and lose weight, as well as improve overall health. Well, I'm your nutritionist, and I'm a guy who shares because I care. And I'm going to bring on someone special, one of our new coaches. Her name is Christina Turner, and she is on a mission. She's an entertainer as well, and she's living amongst the stars. So she's able to work with producers, celebrities, friends, family, and anyone who wants to improve their health. And when I say health, I just want to bring clarity to that. I'm talking about quality of life, because there's many people who are living, but they don't have quality. And one of the things that we're going to talk about in our conversation, if she brings it up, is the power of these omega-3 oils. Now, full disclosure, I sit on quite a few boards, and I am now a partner with a company that does make available what I believe is one of the best in practice products you can get. And it's omega-3 oils. And if that doesn't make sense, it will make sense if you get a chance to stick to our time together, Christina and I, and the conversation we're about to have. And I'm sure we'll touch on it at one point. So without further delay, I'm going to bring Christina to the stage. The one and only, everybody.
Everyone. Hi, Robert. How are you?
Hello, Christina T is in the house, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and speaking on this topic. I'm very passionate about this. So let's go.
Well, it's before we dive in, and I want to set the stage, because basically I'm going to hand over our time together to you. You can ask any questions of me that you personally would like to learn or hear more about, as well as what you think other people may want to hear more about. I don't really get asked by people I work with to interview me. So yeah. I appreciate the opportunity.
I feel so special. I get to interview you. What? This is great. And yeah, some of these questions I get all the time as a coach. And I think it's really great to bring clarity to such a topic with a lot of answers that leave you a little bit unclear when you don't really know what you're doing, essentially. And it's always nice to have another perspective from another coach to kind of bring you clarity to those questions.
I love how you said that. It reminds me, I had this one celebrity client, and this was going back to, it was early 2000s. And I remember this celebrity client, he said, "I wish you could be with me all the time." And I go, "Why? What do you mean you want me? I'm with you all the time." He goes, "No, all the time, because you know how to eat whenever we're traveling and we're on planes and we're in restaurants. When I look at you, you tell me exactly what to eat and what combination to put the foods in for us to get the results that we're getting." And this person had to get results. It was a result-driven client. Okay, it was very important that they got to a certain weight at certain times, and they were not moody, and they weren't walking around hangry, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yes. I've been there before, for sure.
Okay. And so with this client, what you reminded me of is how I said, "Look, I've taught you, and I'm continuing to teach you. All you got to do is put the principles that I'm teaching you to work." Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of celebrities and certain people at certain levels financially in life, not all, but many, they don't want to think. They just want to be told what to do. And so that's what he paid for, and that's what he got. Unfortunately, he didn't get what our clients get, right? So you and I, we teach people what we're about to talk about. And once they learn, then they own that for the rest of their life. So when people go on diets, the reason why they don't work is because they're temporary fixes. They're event driven. And when that event is over or they're done with that fix, then they still don't know how to eat. So education is really the platform of what we do. And most people just aren't, and this isn't a negative on people, but they're not informed when it comes to learning how to eat. So as we have this conversation, Christina, my goal is to answer your questions with clarity and to help people realize that there is a way to conquer nutrition, feel good about what you're eating, like what you're eating, love what you're eating, but yet continue to contribute to better health. And that includes losing weight.
That's perfect. And I actually think you answered a little bit of my second question that I had for you. So I'm hoping that we'll touch more on that. But yeah, I think that was very well said. A lot of people don't really want to learn because they're not actually going to apply it, or they say they will and they actually don't after we are done coaching them. And, you know, like you said, it's not a negative. It's not a negative, but it depends on your goal and like your why and why you are here in the first place. If you are asking for help, but we give you those tools that you can use for a lifetime, it's very valuable than just having a coach. Not saying that having a coach is not valuable, because it 100% is. But if we give you those tools, then you're going to be set up for life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're ready, I'd love to ask you my first question.
As one of my favorite bloggers always says, let's dive in.
Yes, so let's dive right in. Yes, head first for sure. So people have told me that losing weight and living a diet-free life sounds a little bit counterintuitive. So what is your response to people that have said the statement and ask if it is really possible to live a diet-free life and still lose weight?
Okay. I laugh when that's a great question. I mean, and we can stay on this as long as you want, because most people who don't get what we are able to provide is because they haven't experienced it yet, right? It's kind of like if you invite me to your family and they hear for the first time that you can eat foods you love and eat foods you like and not feel like you're on a diet, but still lose weight. And that includes eating bread and eating pasta and having a glass of wine. You can still lose weight. Most people are like, that's not possible, because it's based on their past experiences, right? They have not experienced what my clients have experienced. They have not experienced what thousands of people that we've introduced this to have experienced. So when you haven't experienced something, then all you can do is come up with the reasons why it can't work, because you're new to it. And to set the stage, I'll give you an example. I was working with this very wealthy company, multi-billion-dollar a year company. And the CEO, after hearing me explain what we're talking about today, she looked at me, Brown University, top of her class, very intelligent, and obviously was struggling with her weight. She says, Robert, I have a problem with your program. And I said, what's that? She says, if it was that easy, I would know about it. If it was that easy, just educate people and teach them how to eat foods, as you say, in the right combinations, everybody would do that. And I looked at her and I says, no, everybody won't do that, because everyone is like you. They don't know what they don't know. And that's the diagnosis that you have. But if you were to give me a chance to show you step by step and then apply what I'm going to share with you, you would then get the results the same as thousands of others have gotten those results. And then you would become a believer. But if you continue to sit there and just look at what I'm saying as it can't be true and negate acknowledging the two evidence-based, clinically proven studies that we've done, controlled studies, to prove that you can do what I'm saying and get the results, and you're still wanting to not give it a shot. That's called denial, and you're somewhat delusional. And that's what I told her in the meeting. And fast forward, she became a client, and she lost almost 100 pounds. She lost 87 pounds.
No way.
What we are talking about.
That's phenomenal.
Right? When you put your toe in it and you want to really experience it, then it's waiting for you. But many people will get in their own way. And part of that is cognitive bias. Mm-hmm. They just create in their own mind what they believe supposed to work. And unfortunately, you can't help people like that. I can't help someone who mentally has some challenges. They're having a hard time cognitively, like putting it together to get to a place where I could actually help them. So there's people who are listening to us right now. They know I can help them, and they will continue to not be helped. They will continue to suffer, to struggle with their weight, to fall prey to taking medical drugs because they lack humility. A lot of people lack humility, meaning they're not even up to learning. They feel like they already know, and they don't know. And I can go down a full list of so many things people don't know. And many people, if they've been preaching, let's say, do this and you'll get success, and then they find out that there's a better way, they won't even go back and tell those people that they made a mistake. Right. So what we see from a political standpoint, when you see like a lot of political people compromise and everybody just kind of looking for the narrative that fits what they live with best, that's a big part of the problem. Otherwise, if you went after truth, like I'm for truth seekers, then let me show you, right? It's like my mom didn't lose over 100 pounds and still able to eat, her chicken wings and all that. And if it didn't work, if Linda, went from 249 pounds and she goes down to 129 pounds and gets off blood pressure medication and statins for cholesterol after 15 years of taking those drugs, why is it working for her? You know what I mean? If Debbie, goes from 253 pounds to 150 pounds, both of these women in their 50s eating foods that they like, enjoy, and love, and now they're living it and they're not concerned about gaining the weight back, are we going to just not look at their success? When you look at Brett, who dropped 137 pounds and he's eating out all the time, and he just learned how to eat, and he's an entertainer. How is that? You look at Kathy, who dropped 240 pounds, and she ate regular food every day. And you see what I mean? And I can go on and on and on. These people are real people. So people just don't know. And so don't be mad at me or be upset with you because we know something they don't. See the value in what you and I make available, and then come on board and let us show you how to get there.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. It's really funny the amount of delusion that I see on a daily basis, and the lack of just acknowledging that there's proven results and there's facts, and they still just refuse to see it. It's just phenomenal.
But I'm telling you, you see this in a lot of other genres where people they have confirmation bias also.
Yeah.
And confirmation bias, my best example of that is when you look at it from a political standpoint, people watch Fox News because it's aligned with their beliefs. People watch CNN and MSNBC because it's aligned with their beliefs. They're not going to watch something that goes against what they want to believe. So everybody sticks to what they want to believe. They surround themselves with people who believe in what they believe, and that's where they have the most comfort. You bring someone in like me, and let's say you're doing intermittent fasting. And that's the thing in Hollywood, intermittent fasting. Right. And I come in and go, Yeah, if you don't really care about your overall health. And everybody goes, what are you talking about? I go, there is science on top of science. Conclusively, it's clear. And I've also done this for 29 years that if you are not eating breakfast, that first meal of the day, and getting an adequate amount of protein, and you're over the age of 40, not somebody who's 27, 40, and you're a woman, you significantly put yourself in a position where you're going to lose skeletal muscle. And as you lose skeletal muscle, you increase your risk of heart attack by 300%. And this is all supported by studies I can share with anybody. You also put yourself in a position, if you were to be diagnosed with cancer, you're less likely to survive. You also put yourself at a risk for hip fractures and osteoporosis because you have not been eating in the morning. When your body is in what they call a catabolic state, it's eating itself. And all of this is proven when you just follow the basic pathways. But the momentum of the lie gets so moving fast that people don't want to stop and hear our truth because it blocks them from going after what they believe is the truth.
Right.
Anyway, I don't want to sound like Hannibal, but it's like,
yeah. No,
it's just so much misinformation that it drives me absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting what people believe. And like I also wonder sometimes, like, for example, intermittent fasting that you brought up. Do people really enjoy not eating? Like, do people really enjoy something like intermittent fasting, or like being on like a crazy juice diet? Like, do you really like enjoy that? Because like I know myself and I love my food, and I can't just not eat. Like I just
Well,
can't.
those people get into a place again, and they will protect this. They get into a place where if they buy into it, then they buy into it. Okay. So I remember like years ago before President Obama became president, I met with some people that were part of his tech team, and they shared something with me that I'll never forget. And it was because it was true. They were going to build these platforms where people would be able to donate like $1 to Obama. And if you go back and look, he was one of the first modern day presidents, someone who was running for president, that was like, okay, with taking $5. Before Obama, no one was doing that. Well, that I know of. And so their philosophy was, Robert, if we go to a horse track and I bet $2,000 on a horse and you bet $2 on another horse, once that race starts, we're both going to be excited. We're both going to jump up and down. And if you win, which is $2, you're going to be so ecstatic and on top of the world. And if I win $2,000, it's going to be the same excitement. Once you put in $1 on something and you believe in it and you buy into it, you're going to ride that horse out. And that's what people do. So if they start keto and you say, oh, I don't think keto is good for you, they go, well, I don't know who you're talking about, but keto's working for me. And they're ready to argue with you because they have bought into that belief. And there's a lot of people that will, and again, if you remember, I mentioned a lack of humility earlier. People lack humility. They don't know how to say, you know, I think I made a mistake here. It's like all these rich women, okay, and not only rich, but I'm pointing out very wealthy women are on Ozempic throughout Hollywood. They're all taking this drug. And God forbid, but you're going to see it happen. Many of them are going to have various types of cancer. Many of them are going to have ongoing problems, intestinal tract problems for the rest of their life. But they're willing to do that for the risk of losing 5 or 10 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that on Ozempic, you don't actually lose like that much weight. So why are you putting that in your body? Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
They don't care. It's all about if they think someone else is doing it, it's that follow the leader mentality. And these people, just because you live in a $5 million house and you got money and you got a nice car, doesn't mean you're smart. I mean, Oprah Winfrey is not the wisest person walking the planet. Personally, I think she's extremely silly and ignorant. And ignorant doesn't mean I'm saying she's stupid, because I don't think she's stupid. She just is ill-informed, and so she will do the drug. But that's based on the people she has around her. You know what I mean? If you don't have the right people around you, then you don't know any better. You're going with what they say, and then you get some results. And on the scale, let's say the scale is your measurement tool, and you see that the scale is giving you back feedback that says you're doing well, then Robert's crazy, because I know I lost weight on this product. But what she doesn't know is that most of her weight loss may be skeletal muscle, which then puts her in a position of being compromised with her health. And then when she's gone and dead, she's gone and dead. We won't get a chance to talk to her, and she can't tell us how bad those final days were and the mistake that she made. So a lot of the real negative never gets mentioned because people are gone.
That makes sense.
I mean, it's the truth.
Really unfortunate. Yeah.
And trust me, I'm around enough Hollywood people, and when I would be around them and I speak up, because I'm not going to be silent about things that matter to me, they all like come back with strong, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So most people are just silly and just ignorant, and they have misinformation. And I love to be in a room with people like have you ever had someone and let's say you weren't feeling good, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna call my mentor, my coach. I want you to talk to him. Please put me on the phone with these ignorant people. And
sure.
I will take them to school so quick, and you'll watch them. They still won't change.
Yeah.
Because they already put money on the horse. They've already bought, they've sold. It's like, you know how people say they sell themselves to the devil, they sell their soul.
Oh, of course.
Well, that's what people do when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to politics. People just buy in, and they're not open-minded to see or hear anything other than what they believe.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that, and it's really unfortunate, but it is the world that we live in. So we just have to. We are the ones that have to be open-minded, and we have to talk about our truth, and hopefully we can get those people that are on board to share the same message. So
they're out there. I mean, I have clients who they get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of really smart, wise, amazing clients, and I'm sure you do too, and that will continue to grow. And then, I have clients that are really not that smart. And when I say not smart, for instance, if I told you that you could pay me $10 a month, right? $10. And I said, I'm going to be your coach, and let's check in every week or every 2 weeks for $10. Would you see value in that, Christina?
Yes, I would, but I think I wouldn't, I guess, take it as seriously, maybe.
So you would rather me charge you $500 a month?
To keep me accountable, yes.
Okay. Now, see, so what we just said is where people totally blow it. They can't see the value without seeing a dollar attached to it.
Yeah.
See the value. I can see the value in someone without the money. So whether I have to pay them $400 a month or $10 a month, if I see the value, I'm not letting that go.
Right.
Right now, if I can't afford it because I got to pay an electric bill or I got to eat, okay, that's another conversation. But people are so ignorant about themselves that they would let that $10 go. They will stop the coaching because every time they have a coach session with me, it's a reminder, or with you or any other coach, it's a reminder of what they're doing well or what they're not doing. And if someone's not doing well, then they won't want to go to the coach. So even though it could be free, they will quit because they don't like being reminded of why they are falling short.
Of
And
course.
it's a psychological thing. I'm telling you, it's a psychological thing. I watch people. I get an email, I'm coaching someone, they go, "Hey, you know what?" And I make it very affordable for certain people. I think I'm good. I'm going to stop the coaching. That is one of the most ignorant things a person could 100% do. And the reason I say that, and that's not a dig, and some people will go, "I'm not going to listen to Robert anymore. I don't." It's the truth. When you have accountability built in, and you have someone, because supplements keep changing, nutrition keeps changing, and you have a lawyer on retainer. Great example.
Mhm.
When you need that lawyer, you don't have to pay much because you've had them on retainer. So people can have me on retainer because new product comes out, they can call me and get clarity on the truth. You follow
That makes
me?
Yep.
And
Totally.
people just aren't in a place where they just can say, I know me. And I know having a nutritionist that I can call, I can check in with, is going to help me stay on course.
Yeah.
What else is there to say?
Nothing.
I mean,
Yeah.
that means that people just don't, they really do rather die than to like slow down enough and learn. Like
Right.
stop it. It's like we should have interventions with people. Just
Mhm.
stop it. Just stop. Because it's one excuse after another, and then they give up.
Right.
Yes, it's amazing to me.
Yeah. I think also, like, people are overstimulated. There's a lot going on in everyone's lives with work, with social media, and it's like I could see where they get overwhelmed, but that's where having a coach comes into play so that you can get that clarity and you're not as overwhelmed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, someone on in my Facebook group, they just posted a question. If they're
Mhm.
in a private group, the name doesn't come up. But
Got it.
there, as you can read, it says, "I think patients are willing to hear and follow, especially if supported."
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I would agree
maybe
with
it's the
that.
same person. They said, "Not all people want to die." And I'm glad they said it, because I'm not saying people want to die.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's a lack of, like, what do you call it then? If it's not humility, what do you call it when I'm here and I can help you? Right. So 92% of my clients who are type 2 diabetic, 92% of my clients who are type 2 diabetic, when I coach them in 12 to 15 months, they are no longer diabetic.
That's phenomenal.
92%. There's at least 10 people listening to this conversation that are type 2 diabetic, and they will not call me. They will not contact me. They will not ask for help. What do you call that, Christina?
I call that fear, to be
Is it fear?
honest.
I mean, I
I
would love people to tell me, because I sit back and I've been in a room at my mom's house where there's 6 type 2 diabetics in the room, and I share what I just said with you, and they just keep eating and don't even look up.
Right. I
That's
think I
fear.
think
That's
it's
fear.
I think it's fear of getting out of your comfort zone, fear of what's the word? Fear of facing yourself and facing what you think is a flaw of yours when it's actually something that you're something that's really important
And
that
and
you
and and you don't. Okay, so someone, and I acknowledge it. They said, "I don't think is lack of humility." Someone said, "Is not." That right there is, that's lack of humility to say it's lack of humility. If it's not lack of humility, okay, humbleness is when you accept. Humbleness is when you surrender. Humbleness is when you say, "I'm teachable." So that's how I look at humility. So
that's fair.
so whoever this is, they said they don't think it's humility. Okay. If 9 out of 10 people who are type 2 diabetic are no longer type 2 diabetic after working with me for 12 to 15 months. Why aren't everybody calling me? That's not lack of what is that? If that's not lack of humility, what is it? Is it should we say stupidity? When you can have total reversal of your type 2 diabetes, which will be your demise eventually if you live with it long enough, you will die as a result of type 2 diabetes. So those who are listening, if it's not a lack of humility, please help me understand when I have a solution and people aren't running after it. And Christina, I mean, put me on the mat. Help me understand what I'm missing if it's not lack of humility.
No, I think I agree with you. I think it is lack of humility in some sense, but I also think it is a fear-based mentality. I think that people look at other people's results, but for whatever reason they have in their internal psyche, they think, for whatever reason, they think that they can't get there or they're afraid to fail. That's,
okay.
In my opinion, like I think that's
So that's not lack of humility.
I think they're two different things. I think lack of humility is when you know that you need help and you have the resources and you have the resources and you haven't. Okay, so you have the resources to, I guess, to pay a coach that knows what they're doing, but you don't because you think you know better, or you think that there's other ways that you could do it yourself, or that
okay. I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
I think that is definitely lack of humility and cognitive bias. However, a lot of people live in a fear-based mentality. I know that from personal experience, especially helping my family with weight loss and diet-free life coaching. Like I've gone through it very recently with them. And I've learned that they just like live in this fear that they can't do it, and they psych themselves out and end up not doing anything.
Okay,
Even
so
when they have someone, yeah.
Well, I think so, because a lot of people are bringing up fear of failure. It's coming up a lot, and I would get that. I could be okay with that because you could be very humble and still have fear of failure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
You have to be humble enough to fall down, but brave enough to pick yourself back up and be like, I effed up, and this is what I want to try to do to better myself and fix it.
Yep. I mean, I
If you
agree.
don't fix it, then I think that's lack of humility.
I mean, as Coach Susie's on here, she says humility is surrendering and being open for help. Okay.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of what I
love
said
that.
earlier, right? I said surrendering, but if you have fear, I get that. So let's tackle that, right? So I remember going to Joel Osteen's church once, and I was really excited about it. And part of his message, he told this story that you've probably heard. Many people have heard it. And I'm going to probably not do a good job with the story, but he said there's this guy in, let's say, Louisiana or wherever, and the rain's coming down really hard, and the rain is starting to flood. And it's flooding so much that they can drive around in boats to get people out of their homes. So they go to this guy. He's at his house, and it's starting to flood. And he goes, hey, we got a boat. Come on, get in. He goes, no, I'm going to climb to the top of the house. I'll be okay. God's got me. So he gets on top of the house, and the water's starting to get up really high. And if he doesn't get help, he's going to drown. So a helicopter comes, and they go, hey, we're going to throw down this ladder. We're going to save you. He goes, no, I'm good. I'm good. God's got me. Right? So eventually the guy ends up drowning and dies. He gets to heaven, and he goes to God. He says, God, I believe, and I was waiting. I thought you were going to like come and help me. I really believe. And God said, hey, I sent you a boat, bro. I sent you a helicopter. You follow me?
Yep.
And that's what happens. So if someone is hearing my voice, someone meets you, and yes, they have fear of failing. This is that bolt. This is that helicopter. It's just a matter of that person saying, okay, I got it in me. Let me at least learn more. Like schedule a free consultation. Just take a step. So anyway, I don't want to get started because I know there's a lot we want to talk about, but this was good. And I hope that I would say keep hope alive, you guys. Don't give up. You can be successful.
Of course. Yeah, you really could be successful in anything you put your mind to. It really just depends on how strong your why is and how willing you are to gift this to yourself and take care of your body, because you are your most precious asset, and taking care of you is number one.
And I want to acknowledge the one person who said, I still don't think it's a lack of humility. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's fear. But as a martial artist my entire life, I remained humble throughout all of my training. The people who lacked humility, I saw their demise. They did not do well because they didn't have the humility to go and learn from other people. They could teach them things that they weren't good at. So if you can explain that differently for me, great. But a lot of people lack humility. Otherwise, I would hear from them. You cannot be a type 2 diabetic and be aware of my work and have humility and not be talking to me and I'm not helping you. That is not possible. If 9 out of 10 people living with type 2 diabetes, we're able to get them out of that, and you continue to remain as a type 2 diabetic and choose not to reach out for help, what the hell do you call that? So whoever says I still believe is not lack of humility, what is that? Because there's no fear. I'm a nice person. We have a proven history. We have evidence-based, clinically proven outcomes. It works. So if you are a type 2 diabetic and you don't continue to work with me, or you choose not to work with one of our coaches, you are choosing you're choosing to live with type 2 diabetes, and that will be your demise. You will eventually die as a result of complications from type 2 diabetes. I've been doing this for 29 years. I have watched it again and again and again. Again and again and again.
Yeah, I believe you.
So say what you want. And good luck with all that. Or give me a call. That's it. All right, let's move on.
Well said. Yeah, let's move on. Okay. My next question is about inflammation. So I live here in LA, and I'm around a lot of entertainers, and we all want to look a certain way, and looks are really important, so some of the audience and a lot of the people that I talk to are really concerned about inflammation and where it is in their body. And their goal is to have a slim face and a slim figure and have glowing skin. And they want to feel lighter on their feet for when they're doing their work, which makes sense because when you're performing, you really need to feel light on your feet, speaking from experience. So with the Diet Free Life methodology, do you think it's possible to achieve all of these things with just eating natural food? And what do you think is a problem with inflammation in the first place?
Well, when I hear inflammation, my mind goes to insulin resistance.
Makes sense.
Most people are living with inflammation. So whether it's arthritis, some autoimmune condition, is very, very common. And it's becoming more common in even younger people. I believe the cause for a lot of this is our nutrition, and I think a little bit of our environment, right? So if you live in an apartment or a house that has mold and you're inhaling that on a regular basis, then that's going to cause some inflammation. But the main thing, in my opinion, is that we're consuming too many omega-6 fatty acids, because we know that omega-6 fatty acids in our body causes inflammation. And we know that omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, sardines, chia seeds, flaxseed will help reduce inflammation. So you have these two fats that are essential, meaning you need them to live. Omega-6, pro-inflammatory, causes inflammation. So if someone is talking about inflammation, they would benefit to become more knowledgeable of omega-6 oils. Because if that's the cause, and you keep eating it, you're not reversing the cause. You're contributing to the cause. That makes sense?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Then omega-3, knowing what it does, and that's why I just partner with this company, because they have a really good product and service. They have a product that can help a person increase their omega-3s, meaning reduce inflammation. And they have a test that will tell you if you have an imbalance when it comes to omega-6 to omega-3. People like tests. It's kind of like finding out that, am I deficient in vitamin D3? Well, they do a test, and then the doctor says, yeah, you're deficient. So they recommend they take a supplement for vitamin D3. And then they can follow up and do another test and see if you're now efficient and no longer deficient. Well, the same thing happens with this company, is that I can give someone an omega-3 test. We can see where they are with their balance. So 3-to-1, the 3 would be how much omega-6 I have, compared to the 1 would be omega-3. So if you're 3-to-1 in the test, the ratio that's in your fat cells and in your cells, then or lower, that's a good thing. When I did it, I was 2.7-to-1. I'm working on bringing mine down to 2-to-1. If you look at Inuits, like in Alaska or Eskimos, they would measure it 1-to-3, because all they ate was fish, protein and fat with a lot of omega-3s. And they didn't have heart disease. They didn't have inflammation because they were getting an abundance of omega-3s. Well, most Americans are 20-to-1, 25-to-1.
Yeah.
That confirms that you're inflamed. And so once you have the test, and with this company, what I like about them is you take the product, they give you a free test. You can see if the product's working. Who does that? Like most people are taking all kind of products, eating all kind of foods. There's no tests. There's no way to confirm if it's working.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like people buy into these supplements that, someone just like randomly marketed to you, but you don't actually know if it's working. Like you don't actually know what you're putting in your body.
Right. So. And that's why I'm making the test available. So if someone wants to test, my recommendation is they can email me at robert@dietfreelife.com. They can also schedule a coach call, or just go to my website, dietfreelife.com, and I can tell them all about the test. The test is quick and easy. And once you get it back, like one of my clients who just lost 137 pounds, he's feeling pretty good. And I said, hey, I want you to do this test back in December. And he didn't want to do it, but he's a friend of mine also. And he's local. So I had him come to my house. I paid for the test. And when his results came in, he was 48-to-1.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is quite inflamed.
And now he's using the oil that I recommend.
Okay. And when is his next test?
Well, we don't know yet. You want to go 120 days or 4 months and then retest.
Got it. Okay.
But that's what I like about this company, is that they're like, look, we will give you a free retest. And as long as you did your job by taking the product daily, the time goes by, because a blood cell lasts about 120 days. Same as they do with hemoglobin A1C for diabetics. Then let's see if it's working. So let's say that when Brett does it again, he goes from 48 to 1. Let's say he's 4 to 1. That's it.
Wild.
We know, and I'm hearing people who are doing it, they're sleeping better. They have reduced cravings. And there's some studies I can share with you where people are burning more calories, like over 200 more calories daily, just because they take the product.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they've done studies. I have a study right here in front of me, right here. This study right here demonstrates, as a randomized controlled study, that you have improved fat adaptation, which I can explain. You have increased resting metabolic rate, meaning you're burning more calories.
Right.
You have uncoupling of protein, so you increase your metabolism. All from taking the oil. So when they took the group of healthy people, they split them up. They ate the same. Everything was the same. They worked out the same. The only difference is that one group took the oil and one group didn't. The group that took the oil, they're burning more calories naturally. They have increased skeletal muscle. They have reduction in body fat. They have all of these improvements. You can't, what else does a person need? The only reason why a person wouldn't hear me clearly is if they don't understand what a randomized controlled trial is. Because that's the highest. If you don't get that, then okay, then I need to explain that, because that's the highest level of proof. And then if it's validated, verified, and you can reproduce it, which they've done, there's nothing else to talk about. You either gonna get the test, see where you are, use the product, improve your situation, and benefit from all the improvements. That's it. So every celebrity in Hollywood that I've talked to, and it hasn't been a lot of them because I've only been partnered with this company for a couple weeks, they all want it.
Right.
Because they want reduction in inflammation.
So what does that mean? So are you talking about like that slim figure that we spoke about when
we're talking about figure, we're talking about acne, we're talking about puffiness, everything that touches inflammation. Everything. And you know what's really cool? Like, let's say when you're talking to your friends that are having a hard time hearing you. And let me also say that sometimes in Hollywood, and I've seen this a lot, it depends on your relationship with the people that you're sharing it with.
Of course.
So there may be a little disrespect, not so much on the information you're sharing, but on the fact that it's coming from you. They may have a difficult time hearing the truth because maybe like that lady who's, top of her class, who was giving me a hard time at first, in her mind, she should have known this already.
Right.
You see what I mean? Like, she was almost insulted that I was sharing something with her that because I wasn't at her same level from an academic standpoint, she was having a hard time hearing me.
That makes sense.
Which is a lack of humility.
And ego.
Ego is lack of humility.
Yeah.
It is. Because she didn't feel she could learn from someone who didn't have the same level of academic achievements. And I got to take her to school, and eventually she still became my client.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
okay.
So this is like the real deal. Like, I'm looking on my paper right here. Like, this is what we know about these oils. Okay. The science is clear. Number one, increases skeletal muscle. So if someone's working out, which that's the primary way you build skeletal muscle, and they use the oil, there's a significant increase of skeletal muscle. There's a significant decrease of fat loss. It literally has proven to increase thyroid function in the liver. And if you didn't know, 40 to 60% of our metabolism is dictated by our thyroid. It increases insulin sensitivity, which means it reverses insulin resistance. It decreases glucagon, which is a hormone that causes our sugar levels to go up. So if somebody wants that, then it helps with that. And it decreases leptin levels. And thousands of studies, Christina, prove that omega-3 oils reduce inflammation.
That's wonderful.
The challenge is getting the right oil.
Right.
That's it.
Which is my next question. So how do you know that this is the right oil? Just because this specific product has been randomly tested, or what was the terminology they used?
Okay. Well, one, this company and this product is made available from Europe, Norway. Now, I say that because Europe has way more concrete rules,
yes,
on what can be made available to through food compared to America. Right? Like if you look at Lay's chips in America, it may be 20 ingredients, but in Europe, they don't allow all those ingredients, so it may be 4 ingredients. Right. And you see that with a lot of different foods as well as supplements. So a lot of companies who get approved with supplements in America are not approved in Europe. So that's number one. So it's coming from Europe, and exactly what they make available in Europe is exactly what they make available to people in America and Canada. Number two, I've done my due diligence, and I have always wanted to recommend an omega-3 oil. The problem is that most oils, I was never able to prove that they weren't rancid and that they were of the utmost highest quality. And with this company, I've been able to do that with all the testing that they've done, how their randomized testing continues to take place, and the fact that they fuse the oils with polyphenols that they extract from olives. That's what they encapsulize the oil with, and it keeps it from turning rancid, and it gives it a significant boost in quality benefits that you get from it.
That's amazing.
I mean, if it was me, I mean, now that they've been around for over 10 years, I mean, I get it, but go back before that. If I was around, one of my recommendations may have been to the owner. I said, hey, I wouldn't do this through network marketing. I would make this available just as a premium and go to Whole Foods and go to Sprouts and places like that where the people who are looking for quality will get it and they're willing to pay way more money for it. That would make the most sense for me if I was around the company when they started. But the fact that they've been able to keep the price down and make it where everybody, rich or poor, can get access to the product for, a respectable amount of money, not too much money. Okay. Kudos to them. Congratulations, because I think that's amazing. And now I can make the test available to people. That made me smile from ear to ear.
Yeah, it's really a no-brainer. I'm actually excited to take the test myself. Like, I'm nervous to see what my ratios are, but I hope they're not as bad as they think.
Well, and those who are listening, like, you can go to your doctor and request a test. You don't have to come to me or go to Christina. You can go to your doctor and say, hey, I want an omega test. And they can get one done. Sometimes they'll cover it. And sometimes you may have to come out of pocket. It just all depends. But I believe a big solution to how we're going to get everybody healthier begins with helping people realize where they are with their health as it pertains to omega-6 to 3.
I agree with that.
Start with the tests. Everybody should get tested. Everybody.
Yeah, start with the test, and then we can talk about what are the other options.
Yeah, because people don't realize. I mean, think of all the people. I just had a friend of mine, as I share with you, who was going to be a coach. I got a phone call or a text message. I had just talked to her on Monday. Thursday, she they found her at 4 a.m. dead, like
What?
gone. I just talked to her. That'd be like you talking to me, and then tomorrow you go on Facebook and you see R.I.P. Robert Ferguson. Be like, wait a minute, I just did a live with Robert yesterday,
Yeah, that's
and he wasn't
horrible.
complaining. There was no signs. So we're seeing people die suddenly, and we don't even understand what the hell's going on.
And you don't know why this happened?
Only thing I've learned is she wasn't feeling well on Wednesday.
Okay.
And on Wednesday, she just felt like, let me just sleep it off and see if I feel better tomorrow. That was the last word she shared with her, I think her son.
Oh my gosh.
And then the dog was barking, got the son's attention. He woke up, went to check in on his mom because he was living with her.
Right.
And found her dead in the bed.
That's awful.
Yeah. So we haven't gotten, I don't even know if they're going to, I thought they had to do an autopsy. I mean, we don't know. I'm still shocked. This weekend I will learn more. But if you follow me at all over the last few years, I know a lot of people that died like this suddenly.
I see.
Yep. Like in my house, or my apartment, I have an envelope. My kids are aware of it. Even my ex-wife is aware of it. And everything that's in that envelope, because watching all these people die suddenly, I'm like, I need to make it easy. If you just never know. I mean, trust me, I don't want to go anywhere, but you just never know. And God forbid something happens to me, at least I have everything in place where they can just walk into my apartment and right there, they know where the envelope is, and insurance and everything's taken care of. Passwords to certain parts of my computer, my phone, things that they may want to get access to.
Right. Oh wow, this turned dark really fast.
Okay, let's turn it around. Let's turn it around.
You're dying.
Let's keep it positive.
Okay. So we have a couple, or I have a couple more questions for you. I feel like you really hit the nail on the head. Is that what they say with the other with the inflammation question? I love it. I'm very excited to take the test and actually like get some real results that I can physically see and know that I have resources to help me with inflammation and also use my knowledge to continue to lose weight and continue to maintain the weight I already lost. So I'm really excited for this. And I hope everyone that's watching is as excited as I am. So let's continue. But I think you kind of already answered this question in a way, to be honest, but I'll ask it anyway. Maybe you could give like a 1-sentence, 2-sentence answer. But some people have expressed that they have issues losing weight and keeping it off at home. And they do all the right things. They exercise, they eat healthy foods or healthy meals that they think are healthy, and I'm sure they are. But in your opinion, Robert, like why do you think that they're still unable to achieve the results?
Well, one, when people say they're eating all the right foods, we don't know what that means.
Right.
Right. So just because they're saying they're eating everything right, because I hear that every week, all the time, that they're eating right, I'm doing everything right, I'm exercising, I'm doing everything right, I don't understand what's wrong with me. And then they become my client, and then we teach them the methodology, and then they start losing weight. So how is it that they just automatically start losing weight? Obviously something was missing. So one of my clients, Marie, she did Weight Watchers for years. She works in a clinic where she's around a lot of registered dietitians, and she was stuck on weight. So her dear friend, Linda, who had lost 120 pounds, told her that she should connect with me. So I started coaching her and her husband. And Marie will be great to interview because she will tell you that I'm eating the same foods. I'm not eating anything different, but I'm losing weight. And then you would go, well, you got to be doing something different. Well, I am combining it differently. There's a difference. So just because you're eating what you may call healthy food does not mean you're combining the foods in the proper way to put you in a position where you can lose weight. We also don't know what your level of insulin resistance is. Like if you take a petri dish, right, and you put fat cells in the petri dish, now you got to feed those fat cells to keep those fat cells at their weight. And if you want those fat cells to get bigger, then you got to like feed them more fuel, right? More calories.
Right.
And if you want those fat cells to shrink, you got to feed them less and then they'll shrink. Now, if you feed those fat cells less in that petri dish, but you put in a little bit of insulin, the fat cell will not get smaller. Even if you starve it, it will not get smaller because insulin is anabolic. It is the hormone that blocks you from losing weight. So if you're insulin resistant, right, and you have elevated insulin floating around in your body, which most people do, and they don't know how to eat to bring that down, you can cut your calories as low as you want. And guess what? You still ain't losing weight.
Yep.
So calories in, calories out is not a good way of losing weight. It's all about how to eat to maximize the hormonal response to food so that you can lose weight and lose the right weight, which would be fat and not skeletal muscle.
Right. That's perfect. You couldn't have said it any better, honestly. So the one sentence answer is, we don't know what you're doing, so
that's why you get a coach.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like having a coach means you're not alone. You have two other sets of eyes looking at your situation. You have someone who has significant amount of experience and knowledge about how to eat to lose weight. And that's what we do, right? It's like, I'm not going to just go and watch some YouTube channels on doing accounting and think I can be my own accountant. I have someone who's really good at accounting, and you know what I mean? They can guide me the right way. But when it comes to nutrition, people tend to take shortcuts sometimes and go, well, I should be able to figure this out on my own, which is not a wise thing to do.
No, of course not.
You know what I mean? So it comes down to, like, you and I are aware of a way of eating that we teach people. And if people learn how to eat the way we teach people, which means you're eating what you like, enjoy, and love, opposite of a diet, and you're still able to get results.
It's pretty valuable.
I mean, I'll never forget, I had this client, Dr. Bernadette. She's in Columbus, Ohio. She saw my first infomercial on TV. And here I was on TV talking about how you could eat foods you love and like and enjoy and lose weight and get healthier. And she was watching it because she's a Black female physician. And in her words, she shared to me that she goes, I saw this brother on TV, me, and I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, talking about me. So I gave it a shot to watch it. You sounded like you were making sense, but everything you were saying, Robert, and this is how she explained it to me, you were encouraging people to eat things that have caused me to gain weight.
That's fair.
So and she said, I was about to turn the channel, and then it went to the testimonials. And she recognized one of my testimonials, which is a guy named Dr. David. And Dr. David Pryor, who is still my friend, who went to medical school with her. And she saw him and she said, if David's on there, he's not the kind of person that would give an endorsement or a testimonial to something that's not real. So that gave her permission to keep watching me. And then she reached out to David. She said, hey, do you know Robert? Because, he's in my infomercial. He goes, yeah, I'll connect you. So he connected us. I got on the phone with her. She goes, "Hey, I'm buying your program. Um, it seems amazing. It makes a lot of sense." And I said, "Great." I said, "I'll check in on with you." She goes, "Okay, well, I'll let you know when I'm down 50 pounds." Now, when I hung up the phone, Christina, I was thinking, okay, that's pretty cool, but a lot of people talk.
Mhm.
Well, she went on to lose 165 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and she was in my another infomercial I did. I had her in it. At
Okay.
one point, she was my medical director, and now she's doing great. She's writing. She's an author now. She's
Wow.
promoting health. She's doing a lot of great things, and she has not gained the weight back.
That's amazing.
So,
That's
and she
phenomenal.
promoted it to a lot of her patients, and a lot of her patients are my clients now.
That's amazing.
But
Like
it
if
took
that's not Mhm.
well, I mean, my final point is that it took her seeing someone that she knew that endorsed me, that gave her the room to say, I will give it a shot. Because remember, she was about to turn the channel.
Right.
And there's people right now who are in that same spot. They don't know me personally. They've never had a conversation with me. They don't know
Right.
what they don't know. But if they were to step in and give it a shot, whether it's with me, you, any of our coaches, then they would know.
Yeah, then they would know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like, how do we get people to take that step? Because it does sound too good to be true. But in reality, if Dr. Bernadette didn't do it, she wouldn't have lost 165 pounds.
Right.
And who knows? She may not even be here. Because that was over 10 years ago. Since the pandemic,
Okay.
if she had kept that weight on, who knows?
That's true. That's very valid. But now she is. Like she is from what you're telling me, she's alive and well. So that's awesome.
Yeah, she's thriving.
She's thriving.
Thriving.
Amazing.
So
Well, this
so
is
I don't know.
this is
You help me, and I'll help you, and let's figure out how we can get people to go, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things, like I was telling people who partner with me with this company, they're not nutritionists like you.
Mhm.
It's a no-brainer for a nutritionist. If someone's a nutritionist and they choose not to make this testing available, regardless of network marketing or not,
Mhm.
they are doing their clients a disservice.
Of course.
Right. So if I make it available to someone and they choose not to get tested, okay. But my job was to make it available to them.
Yeah.
And so I did my job. And later they'll eventually come to realize the importance of omega-6 or 3. I feel it's a blessing that we're in a position where I can offer this kind of test.
Yeah, I think it's a great. Like why not?
I mean, if I was a doctor, a live, a family physician, I mean, I would make this test available, same as fasting insulin. They would be first thing I would do with a client.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that. And now I'm able to make this test available. So I'm good.
No, it's wonderful. It really is. Like this resource is really going to bring clarity to a lot of people that have been really struggling. And it's up to you whether you want to use that resource and better your health. So it's wonderful. It really is. It's great. And I'm
All
really
right.
happy that you got the chance to
So
connect with.
are you starting to connect, Christina, and understand that this is a great tool for you as a coach? Are you starting to see it?
Of course. Yeah, I'm
Well,
absolutely going to
I wouldn't say of course, because not every coach gets this.
No, I understand, but I think it's very valuable personally, especially in the line of work that I do as well with just like in the entertainment field. Like it's just so important and it's so important to understand like what your body is doing and how to take care of it so that it can function properly and you feel good, but you also look good for a long period of time. So why not just get tested and why not take care of your body? You literally like you deserve it. Like you are your most precious asset. as I've mentioned before. Like if you don't have yourself, then no one's going to take care of you. You're going to take care of yourself.
I agree. Well, you know, with your audience and the people that you share this with, I'll share one last study. This study was done by a leading organization, an institute they're very known when it comes to omega-3 testing and writing papers. And they did a longevity study. And what they discovered was that if a person smokes cigarettes every day, but they have a high omega-3 index, they have the same life expectancy as a non-smoker who has a low omega-3 index.
Really? Wow. I would love to read that study.
And guess what? As soon as we hang up, I'll send you the link and you can read and be. And this is one. I shared one earlier. I shared that one. There's thousands of studies.
Yeah.
Now our big challenge is, the people who become a client, I can help them. But the people who aren't a client, they're a little harder to get them to see it. And,
of course.
And I'm moving fast. I ain't here to convince people. But for people who want to know, even if they don't want to like consume the omega-3, do the test.
Yeah, just be informed.
Do the test. See where you are.
Yeah, I agree. Do we have time for one more question?
Yeah.
Cool.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Hi. So Carrie Horner, who's one of my coaches, who's amazing. She says, "Hello, Robert Ferguson and Christina. Carrie is here."
Hi, what's up, Carrie? How's it going?
Carrie's great. So I'm gonna be helping Carrie. We're gonna get Carrie going.
Sweet.
All right. So what's your next question? Come on, Christina. Let's go.
So, to finish off, we're going to ask a results-based question, and especially since we're like on the topic of inflammation, since a lot of like celebrities and you've worked with a lot of celebrities like the Toni Braxtons of the world and actors, musicians, producers, you name it. The one thing that I personally notice is that they want results fast. Like they have a deadline. So like with this methodology, is it possible to have like a realistic plan for these people who want results fast rather than, wanting that educational platform that we provide as coaches? Like, how do you navigate their expectations and how do you help them achieve those results fast without taking drugs like Ozempic?
Well, none of my clients complain. They're all happy. And I don't compromise what I know to be true. So I don't give two shits about what they say they want and how fast they want it. And if somebody wants, I'm not the guy for that. But if you want to do it as fast as possible, but be healthy as possible, I can help you out. Right. So what's the point of losing a whole bunch of weight, but now your health is compromised? So
great.
So the same methodology that I use, when I first started training you and you did the program, you dropped 9 pounds pretty quick.
I don't remember if it was the first week. I know I dropped at least 7 the first week. And then my overall for just like 30 days by itself was 13 my first time around.
Okay, now stop right there because there are people that are getting upset with you right now. Okay, if you lose 7 pounds eating because it wasn't like you were in pain.
No.
Yeah, you were eating. You were actually eating more than you were eating before.
No, 100%. I was eating 3 meals a day. I used to eat 1 meal a day.
So look, you go 3 meals a day. You drop 7 pounds in the first week. First month, you drop 13 pounds. Very little insulin resistance, if at all. Like you're where a lot of people wish they could be, that like in their 50s and 60s and 70s, because they have insulin resistance. So hang on to losing 7 pounds in a week because that's not the norm.
No. It's not normal, guys. I just wanted to share that because I was so shocked. Like I've never been able to do that. and like eat and not starve myself, like low key.
Yeah. I mean, this is what so I know you get excited because you're like, well, hell, I'm telling you guys, so think about the people you're around. You're sitting there telling them, hey guys, I dropped 7 pounds in the first week. I ate 3 meals. I'm even eating fruit and all that. And they go, yeah, but I don't, and they still don't believe you.
No one believes me.
They still, hey, we need to have like I don't know, like a support group of people who are losing weight easy with Diet Free Life, and a support group where we can talk about how challenging it is being around people who don't want to believe what we know is true.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, I keep going.
No, it's just so crazy because it's like, I remember one of my clients was on a plane ride. She sat next to this guy. Now, my client lost 50 pounds. But by the time she landed, it was a West Coast to East Coast flight. This guy had convinced her that she needed to do keto. Now, keep in mind, she just lost 50 pounds, eating fruit and bread and pasta, having glasses of wine. But by the time she landed, this guy had her thinking that keto would be better. And I was like going, are you out of your mind? I mean, really, like, what is wrong with you when you have a personal experience of losing 50 pounds eating bread, and this guy has now convinced you that eating bread, you can't lose weight? But you already did it. That part right there just dry. That part is where I just go, I don't understand people.
No, I don't either. That's insane.
You know what I mean? Like, what would cause a person to do that?
Right. I'm wondering like what this person said to this woman that made that decision like be logical.
Well, I can give you the concept of because I've seen this happen to people. Mm-hmm. If you're sitting with someone or you go to an event and someone's very confident and they got the right swagger, they got the right look, they can communicate it in a very confident way. Next thing you know, you're like, sign me up.
Yeah,
like there's convincing people, and you're around a lot of them in Hollywood. They go in and you say, okay, I'm here to learn more about how to social media, how to take my career to the next level. Oh, you're in the right place because this is what we're going to show you. I'm going to show you what you're doing wrong. And I'm going to show you what you need to do. And you need to go bum, bum, bum. You need to do this. And when you do that, you're going to see your numbers increase. Now, write me a check.
So many people. So many
people. I just lost you on camera. Are you still there?
Oh no. Let me.
Okay, your camera went out. That means.
Oh no! Can you still hear me though?
Oh no, we hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Now you can upload a photo if you want, but I think we're about to wrap. We're wrapping up anyway, right?
Yeah, we're wrapping up anyway. Let me see if I can just turn it back on. No, nothing. Oh my gosh! How embarrassing! My computer is horrible.
That's okay. We're good.
Well, I guess you'll be staring at this lovely empty circle that I haven't uploaded my photo.
Well, I modified it, so we're in a good place.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Okay,
but yeah, so I love that. Like that's very well said, and it really baffles me with, like we were talking about before, the point of delusion that people have when they get fed misinformation. And I don't, no one, like we can't fault anyone for not understanding, but at some point you have to have your own brain and do your own research. And I think that's the biggest word of advice for everyone is you are your most precious asset. And I'm not going to stop repeating that, but do your research before putting like a supplement in your body that you don't really like fully know, or reach out to a coach and ask them questions. Like we are here to help you. Like we're not here to we're not here to like sell you a product and run. Like, we're here to help you. Like, we're here to better your life. Like, this is what we do. And if you're not utilizing that resource, then you're only doing yourself a disservice. Like, you're not doing this for us. Like, you're like this. We are here to help you. And like, it's your choice whether you want to help yourself, is what I'm trying to say.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time as well, Robert. This was a very constructive conversation, and I think everyone has learned a lot here. I'm very grateful for your time, your knowledge, and everything that you do. And I'm sure everyone feels the same. So huge, huge gratitude to you.
All right, well, thank you, and we'll do this again.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone who is watching.
All right.
Hope
Thank you guys for listening in. That was fun. And we will bring Christina Turner back, everybody.
Whoop, whoop. All right. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
All right, you guys. All right. I'm going to give you a call when we're done, okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. All right, you guys. That was Christina Turner. She's amazing. She brought a lot to this conversation. I really, really, really appreciate what she brought to the table. She's very authentic, very transparent. She's definitely one of those people who, when she's just her, is so real, and it's so fresh to hear the questions that she brings, because I know that it's helping a lot of people. If we're able to provide an answer or clarity that can help people have confidence in doing what will help them not only lose weight, but improve overall health. So anyway, I'm Robert Ferguson. Thank you for being here. I provided some information. My recommendation for anybody, especially if you're interested in anything that we talked about, is schedule a consultation. Start there. Just start there. We'll have a quick conversation, one-on-one, private, and then you can make decisions, make choices. Maybe I just answer your questions, and I get a chance to meet you, and that would be great. Okay. Other than that, I'm going to say goodbye. And until the next one, I'm Robert Ferguson. Peace out. Let's do it.